Hey there, welcome back to the table. We're going to start the round 3, if you will, generation 3. So we did a nice coup d'etat and was able to score some points that the AI was not able to score at all. So we are sitting with a nice comfortable lead right now. I don't know how much I can rest on that and if that's going to be enough to win the game, but it's certainly a nice position to be in. We have been getting slaughtered in every other way imaginable because the AI does get to cheat a bit. And I do give this AI credit. Like some automation, bots or whatever, they just flat out, you draw a card and they score 12 points. They don't even do anything. Like they put a marker somewhere and they score 12 points. At least here, they really are playing the game. It's just that instead of collecting money, they go up on the foundation points, which it does look like I'm close, but each one of those spots is 5 foundation points. So they actually are significantly ahead of me there, but I don't know. I mean, it's still, I don't know what the right word is, but I think it's a close game, to be quite honest. I am playing the most difficulty possible, the Guru difficulty. So I would expect this maybe from a normal, because considering how inexperienced I am with this game, I don't know. But we'll see how it plays out, because I think my opportunity to score points while they don't get to score any is going to go away in these next couple scoring rounds. Although I did get the chance, I grabbed the one thing where you score based on money, and they have no money. So I know I'm going to get to score points on them with that regard. So I am happy with that. And so I want to invest heavily here to get as much money as possible, because that's going to give me scoring opportunity that they won't have. So again, that's going to be my second chance to capitalize on them. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. The one thing I just realized I was going to make a mistake of doing, I was going to draw this for the AI turn. This is for generation 1. I need to now grab generation 2. Now, why would there be different AI cards for each generation? Well, the most obvious one is they're very heavily focused on relationships and buying. As the later generations come, they're going to start selling, possibly. They get gold for selling, which is going to give them, foundation points. And also it causes the stock price to go down for the rest of us. So let's go ahead and get the level 2 cards for them. Shuffle them up a little. And then we'll get started here with the white player going first. The white player, by the way, is the promoter. I've been trying to remind myself I need to stay thematic, because who they are does matter. But yes, we're going to go ahead and get started with the white player. The one thing that still bothers me is they collect resources, but they don't do anything with the resources. I am convinced though that they do get to score points at the end of the game for them. I just sort of wish the designer would, whoever made this solo bot, instead of collecting resources, they just score points. I really think that would be a nice modification. So that way, the resource box doesn't start to get empty because they're hoarding resources that never go anywhere. But okay, white player, let's go. Okay, at the top, you can see they're going to buy from the government, and then the top card gets flushed. And so, yeah, I mean, as much as things change, they remain the same in that regard. And I'm just doing the flushing off camera here. All right, so they're going to buy in the government. This is the white player. So they start here, and if you go around, it gets to the factory. I'm sorry, the government is the blue stuff. So they're going to start here. They go around. They're going to buy from here, but they already have one. So they will buy a law, which is going to be dirt cheap for them, because the law is way down here, so that will move up by 1. All right, that was an easy turn. Yellow. They're also buying, but they're going to buy from industry, or whatever the yellow is. So yellow has one more minor investment, and you can see they've invested in every single one so far, so now they're going to go invest in this one, which will cause this to go up. So it's sort of funny how that worked out for them. Then we go to, yellow's flushing another card. Gotta make sure I don't forget to do that. Okay, now we're on to purple. Purple, gonna form a relationship with a legendary. So we go to purple, grab one of the relationship tokens, and they just take the next available. I'd have to look up in the rules what's gonna happen once they're all taken. I don't know if they bump you off or what they do there. We'll look it up later though. I'm sure we'll encounter it eventually. The red player is going to sell. See, look, there's a little minus sign. They're gonna sell from the red industry, and if not red, then from the government. So let's see if they have anything to sell. So the red player is here. They for sure have a government one, and right there is the red industry. So they would sell this one, which is the theater. And so the theater is worth $10, and that's an investment of 2. So 2 times 10 is 20. So red is going to move up 20 bucks or 20 points on the foundation path. And when you sell, it actually goes down. So 5, 10, 15, 20 for red. Okay, blue. They're going to get an opponent's heirloom. So what are we going to do here? Blue is already 2 levels in. They need to get a level 3 heirloom from an opponent. Now that's interesting. Everybody's has level 3 heirlooms. So it's the highest industry. Highest industry is the books. And that would either be our heirloom or yellow. So we got a tie between us and yellow. And then what's the tiebreaker again? If there's still a tie, the NPC will take the heirloom from the player with the most fame, which is us. So they're going to steal our level 3. So blue has a whole bunch of heirlooms, and now they got a level 3 heirloom that they stole. And I got to be really careful because these are my heirlooms here. That's theirs, and then this is still mine. But yes, table space excluded. That was actually a good move on their part. All right, and then what's next? Oh, they owe us fame, unless we're on their naughty list. So you can see that the only 2 that they have a rivalry with are these 2, and that's not us. In fact, they're amicable with us. They are allowed to steal from us because that's the first one they're stealing, but they owe us fame. So you can see here there's 3 fame that's owed. So blue is actually going to go down 1, 2, 3, and we go up 1, 2, 3. So not a bad deal at all. Okay, moving on. It is our turn. Yay! Okay, what do we want to do? One of the things I said we want to do is we want to start investing in the same 2 industries that we influence, but now we're going to do minor. But you can see we already have a minor in this one, so we just need a minor in the science. And I'm noticing right there's a science investment card. So I'm probably going to take that while it's still out there. We have another one of these, which is good. That's our personal card. And then, of course, we get some nice relationships, increase the industry. Look how expensive things are getting. The price of things have gone up. And then right there is our strategy that we talked about doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exchange this card for their science one because I want to get that out of the way. But then I also want to do this. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this. I'm keeping this for that purpose. We're keeping this one for that purpose. And then, of course, we need to exchange something. So I will exchange this one for this one. And that's an interesting one. I can see how. So anyways, I'm going to do it for this. So I'm going to purchase a science. And it, of course, has to be a minor investment, which is it's going to get me points at the end of this this next century, because the minor investments are the next scoring opportunity. So the science one is here, and you can see that it's worth $12. So 12 times 2 is 24. So I do have to spend 21, 2, 3, 4. And I was able to get my investment token out, so I'm fully invested in my industries. And then, of course, the science goes up by 1, and we are now leading in the industry department across the board. So very happy with that. And I'm also happy we got the thing that lets us draw 2 player cards again, so we can do the same strategy I tried to do, but this time we're going to execute it properly. Okay, it's back to the top. We're going to start with the white player. Now they're at 2 cards. Relationship with us. So white player has no relationship tokens left. Okay, so they can't do the relationship action. So the rules are very clear that if they can't perform the action, they get this instead. So they're getting 50 foundation points instead. Holy cow. Well, that just busted them through. So they got 25, 50. That moved them up 2 right there. And that's 2 fame points that they got, or actually it's going to be 4 with the way the rules are currently set up. So that is them. Okay, yellow. Flush is the middle card, this is why we prioritize the card that was in the market. Because there's no guarantee those cards are going to still be there. They're going to do a relationship with the thief. And this is who again? This is yellow. Yep, they have a token. So I'm going to grab one of their tokens, and it goes on the thief here. And they get 50 gold and a resource. So I'm going to just grab a random resource for them. And then they move up 50 points, which that's the interesting one. This is only 5, and that's 25. So they're only going to bump once because they're going to be 5 short from being able to bump again. But whew, they're turning around that corner there. Okay, I thought that corner was at least going to delay them for a bit. But now that we're in era 2, everything's paying so much more. Interesting. Okay, so next we go to purple. Purple is going to purchase something from the yellow track. And then the bottom card gets flushed. Okay, so purple is making a major purchase. They've used up all their minor purchases. And purple is here. So the first major purchase is going to be this one. They're going to grab from the industry. And the industry is going to bump twice. Because major purchases make it go up 2. All right, next is red. Red is going to sell from the government area. So red is here, and so they would sell this investment from the military. So we put this here. Red has sold several times now. So they're just on a selling streak right now. So this goes down. It was worth 12 times 2, which is 24. And then we go 5, 10, 15, and then they have to stop. They don't have enough to bump the 25 more. So the timing of that wasn't very good for them. But that's how AIs work. Okay, next is blue. Relationship with the performer. So we're going to grab a relationship token and put it on the performer, and the blue gets 25. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And that's that for them. Now it's back to us. And I think we're going to do this and just draw 2 more cards, which feels like a wasted action, but we're going to hopefully get 2 really nice cards that will help us later. This is a nice one. We can invest. This is our industries we've been trying to invest in. This is also a nice one. You just get to place one. You don't even have to pay the money. You just pay the fame. So both of these are good. And then trade one of your resources for a resource from the supply. And you get to acquire an heirloom. So this is a good one too. And then notice that we're getting 2 resources now. Okay, I have to pause real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. I know for you that was just a split second, but I was gone for a while. I was actually gone for so long I forgot whose turn it was. But I looked at the last AI card and I see that it was this, which is the blue player. And then I know we went because we drew the 2 extra cards. So we're back at the top. Let's go with the white. White is going to sell in the red industry. So the white player is here, and you can see the 3 red industries. They don't have any. So then they're going to sell in the government if they can. So we come around to the government, and the first one is the military. So the military is going to drop 1, and they're going to get 20 bucks for that. So white needs 25 though, so that doesn't get them anything. Oh my gosh, what a wasted action. Uh, that's funny. Okay, we go to yellow. Yellow is going to get their own heirloom. And the middle card flushes. And yellow has 2 heirlooms already, a 0, a level 1. So they're going to grab a level 2 heirloom for themselves. So that's good for them. Then I got to shuffle cards. And we're moving on to purple. I still like how quick these turns take. These AI cards are very nicely laid out. You know, at first it was confusing because you're like trying to figure out like, okay, how are they doing this? But, you know, kudos to the developer. I know I made the comment in the very beginning of the series that I was concerned this was his first ever game. I'm having a blast. I don't know how much I enjoy playing against the AI. I think I would definitely enjoy this more as a PvP game. But the AI is definitely challenging, and I know I'm winning by a lot of points right now, but the game's not over. I could definitely see how they're running away in other areas, and so I gotta do what I need to do. But the thing that makes this game appealing is if you spend an awful lot of time on each AI turn trying to figure out what the heck they're gonna do, it gets exhausting. Some of the coin games I have, if you ever watched any of those, can be very exhausting. Like, you know, I got to be in the right mood to play those games. The AI turns are very quick. This reminds me of Gaia Project in terms of the Gaia Project had a really sweet little system as well. And the AI in that was also challenging. And now, granted, it was a very different experience than when you play multiplayer, but the Gaia Project was still very well done as far as the automa is concerned. I do prefer the bots that play like a real human. This one is like, it's riding the fence, right? It's playing like a real human, but it's still cheating at the same time. It's a very interesting one. So anyways, we're now on to purple. So purple is going to sell, again, it's the same card we just drew. So they're gonna sell from the red, and purple definitely has investments there, so we will go ahead and do that. And the first red, if you go around, is going to be the theater. And the theater is only worth 8 times 2 is 16. Purple gets nothing. Nothing is going to move. That's this is an interesting part of the game where they need... Oh, hold on. They're going to get something. 5, 10, 15. Not everybody's in this, this section yet. But when you get to this section where you need 25 to keep moving... They do get hammered, but the purple was able to get, they were able to move up 15. So, okay, my apologies there. All right, so now we moved red. Red, we're on the second, no, we're on the third. Holy cow, red is gonna do a global action. And yeah, they're gonna do a global action. And I think it's the leftmost one again. So they're gonna advance relationship and collect benefits. So red also, remember I like to do the successor first because I always forget. So if we look at red, their symbol is the fist. And they are gonna have one card that's in their hand, which is a fist. And then they're gonna take one of the cards. I'll just take whatever one has the higher number here, 46, 38. They're going to take the card that we were thinking of taking. So they're actually taking this and throwing it away. So they will get 10 points there. That 10 points doesn't move them. Or I'm sorry, they get 25 points because we're in the 2nd century now. That does bump them 1 spot. So I'm doing that right now. They bumped. And that's it for red. They got their 3rd guy. They do unlock something, so I'm going to put a investment token out for them. Okay, so now we have to advance and collect. So red gets to collect before the advancement happens. So there is a situation here where they can collect fame, and then over here they can collect resources. Now the rulebook does have a priority list for them. And I know, for example, they want, if a Nemesis has choice of rewards, it prefers in this order, foundation and then fame. Fame is the second one. Gold is like near the bottom. They're going to collect the 2 fame as their choice, and then everything's going to move. This is going to bump off. Those 2 move down. That moves down. I'm just going to go clockwise. This bumps off. This moves down. These 2 move down. These 2 move down. Down, down, and down. Oh, and one more down. Okay, so 2 of them bumped off, red and yellow. So I'm just putting those back in their respective places. I may have forgotten this last round, but these actually collect. When we do this phase, these trigger. So I apologize if I forgot to do that last round. And then now everybody's going to collect. So let's just go around, and I may have to collect multiple times for people, but like right here, this is 6 plus 2, that's 8 fame for blue. Anything else for blue? Okay, now I'm gonna move left, and I'm on, oh my gosh, my dog. Okay, we were doing white. So here you can see white gets 10 gold, 3 fame, I'll do that right now. 10 more gold, so they're at 20. 2 fame here, so we'll do that. They're at 20 gold, but white needs 25, so they don't move. So that sort of worked out for us. We're gonna keep going around. We're gonna do ourselves here. We get 10 gold for this, and we get 5 gold for that, so 15 for us. Like so. We're currently sitting on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We got 64 right now. Okay, so that's all we get. And then let's keep going. We have a purple here who gets a resource. That's 10 gold, 3 fame for purple. I'm doing that right now. The 10 gold doesn't get him anything, but I will grab him a resource. They have a whole bunch. Okay, done. All right, keep going. Red is next. They get 15 gold from this, but that's it. And so that does not bump them because they need 25. Purple. Nope, we did purple. And yellow is the last one. They get 20, which is also not enough to bump them. So, and then blue, amazingly enough, only has fame out there. So yeah, that's all. That's all they got. Okay, so that ends that. They've already triggered one of the global actions. Not real pleased with that. And let's see, what was the one? One before was red selling. So that was blue. Now it's our turn. So we can get another investment going, which is what we wanted to do. We can do our little thing, which, you know, will hurt them. Or, gosh, what did I want to do with this? Maybe we're going to use this to just trade for something that's on the market. So let's see what's on the market, because I can trade this one away. This one, I loved both of these. Like, these are both awesome ideas. And then, of course, this one I want to use for my personal thing. They're already triggering the global events, so this round's going to end pretty quickly. Here you can see there's an investment in books, which I don't need. There's this one. Place an investment token on an empty. That's just reserving a global action for me. I may not get to do a global action, so that's not really good. The legendary investment. Oh, I forgot to do legendary. Yellow gets 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here, purple gets 2 resources. So they get 2 more resources that they don't need to add to their little empire of resource collection. Okay, from a legendary perspective, we can take this one, which would give us 50 points towards the foundation. that would definitely catch us up. No doubt about that. I want to see what happens once it's full. If a legendary figure is shown, make a relationship with the first empty one. If all of them are occupied and NPC does not have 2 relationships, select the leftmost legendary figure with an opponent's token. And then, of course, it ignores its own character. So, if I take this legendary relationship here, there's a good chance I'm going to hold it for a while because they're always going to take the topmost one. That's, again, taking advantage of the AI rules. By taking this guy, there's a real good chance I'll hold on to it for a long time. So I could do that. Now, is that really what my goal was? No. The other thing is I can invest in the corporate mogul, which does give me another card. I'm not super excited about getting another card, but I do get 40 gold for doing that. It's an option. I can also investigate in the invest or relationship with the transportation baron, which is the wheel. This gives me 20 gold and then 2 resources. Oh, I like that one because the 2 resources will help me to get my next heirloom. So let's do that. I'm going to trade this card with the top card that's out there, this one, and then I'm going to spend the 15 gold to create a relationship with the Baron here. And I'm just checking. He's not on my friendly list, and he's not on my rival list. So 15 gold spent. Get a relationship token, and I put it here. So I'm going to get 2 resources, and I get 20 gold back. So I actually get back more than I paid. So that's a good deal. It was basically free. And then the 2 resources are the big thing. So I currently have the paint and the gem. I need the iron. And then when you get to the next level, it gets even worse. Or I can steal again. Remember, the stealing is something that the AI likes to do. So if I was to steal somebody else's, I have a paint and a gem. So what good does that do me, right? The level 3 of somebody else, oh gosh, I'm looking for a level 2 of somebody else. There's not a lot of level 2s out there. There's one that has 3 iron, and there's, oh, he has, oh, there we go. I can take a purple player's, he needs an iron, a paint, and a gem, and I have the paint and the gem. So I'm going to take the iron. So I could steal his, or I could get my own for the same price. And I think I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to just take another paintbrush, because paintbrushes seem to be needed a lot for my type of class. So those are the 2 resources I have, and right now, that's my situation. 2 paintbrushes in this, and you can see I need a lot of paintbrushes for the higher level ones. And then the one in question is right here. There's a level 2 with the purple player, and you can see it's an anvil, and that would get me, I wouldn't get a lot of fame because these 2 industries aren't worth an awful lot right now. Actually, this one is worth the most. Okay, I take it back. That would actually be a really good one to steal. So then the question becomes is how do I steal it? Because my only 2 actions I have left right now, I wanted to use this to invest in an industry of myself, and then I want to use this one to do my special ability. So maybe I won't get to steal one. That, or I'm going to have to, maybe instead of doing the investment, I'm going to do the steal with this card. But either way, we have our card played. I don't know where it went, though. I only have 1 card played in front of me, and I know for sure I played more than... I must have discarded the other card. I did. I discarded it. Okay. Anyways, that's it for our turn. We're back to white, and we're now down to... That was 3 cards played by me? Yes, it was. So we're on the 4th level? Yes, we are. So white is going to take a blue, and they're going to do the trade conference. Okay, this is an interesting one. the trade conference is going to use this bottom half, and we can put it here. It fits into this section. Just gonna get the camera down. All right, what are they trading for? So they're gonna trade for foundation. And you can see that right here. That's their priority. It's the one on the far left. So they're going to pick the actually, let me look it up real quick, because what I was going to do is I was going to get this, which has foundation on the top, but I don't know if that's, are they trading for foundation or are they trading away foundation? We gotta sort that out. 1 second. Okay, this was actually much simpler. I was close. So what they're going to do is they're going to put this one on the far right. So they're going to trade fame, and they want to get that. So I got to grab the fame one. Excuse me, which is that one, and put it on. And so this is the yellow player, I believe. No, it's the white player. So the white player is going to bid the fame. And how much are they going to bid? Well, it's written underneath. So they're willing to bid 2 fame, and they're bidding for that resource. So they are trying to bid 2 fame for that resource. So that's where their bid marker goes, is right there. The dice is like an upgrade to a cube. I don't know what good it does, to be quite honest. It's very big and bulky. I'm not a big fan of it. The trade thing is an interesting concept. Now, here's something that the rulebook fails. Okay, now I got to bid for all the other Nemesis players. Well, this is the card that was drawn for the active player. So I'm guessing I need to draw a new card for each Nemesis player to see how they would bid and what resources they're going to bid for. The rulebook makes no mention of that, but I'm just assuming that's what, because that's the only thing that makes sense. So if I'm on the white player right now, the yellow one would be next. So yellow is going to bid gold. Well, the yellow wants fame. Fame is what they're bidding away, so then they're going to want resources, which is a silly thing for them to want. But so they're going to for resources. So I would put it on the fame, and there you go. They're bidding 5. All right, so then I just keep going. Next is purple. Purple also wants resources, and they're bidding 3 fame. How do I know? You just look at the fame section, because that's what they're bidding, and then the 3 underneath it. And then the leftmost one is the one they want. So they're going to bid 3 fame for resources, which they're not going to do, because they're going to lose. I mean, you can put it out, but, you know, they're losing that bid at the moment, which is fine. The rulebook doesn't say that they have to win. That's just what they're willing to pay, and so they're going to lose. So here you can see there's going to be 2 fame for 25 gold. So this is red. 2 fame for 25 gold. So, or I'm sorry, 2 fame for gold. So they're going to bid there. And also in the second generation, the first and second place, they both get rewards. So technically speaking, purple isn't wasting their bid at all. Okay, then after red is blue. So blue is going to bid 1 fame for a resource. So blue is, I'm not even going to bother putting blue out there because there's 2 bids higher than in blue. And then because yellow was the very first player and we're the very last, we have the benefit of seeing all the bids. So we can bid on something, and the AI player gets to adjust their bid. I don't know if they will, though. That's an interesting question. It doesn't say that in the book. Let me look at it one more time. So if it's triggered, they bid the amount shown under the currency in the first available commodity in the priority row. That's if it's player triggered. Oh, it does not move its bid at the end of the bidding. It specifically says that. So if we want to outbid it, we can. We can see this is the State of the Union. And we can bid whatever we want for whatever we want. So if I want 50 foundation, right? And then he would only win 20 foundation, I would screw him royally because he needs 25 in order to move. So I could take that 50 from him, but I have to be willing to spend 3 fame, and I'm willing to do that. So I'm going to spend 3 fame. 1, 2, 3, and that moves me up 50 foundation. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And then white gets 20 foundation because they're second place, but oh no, they need 25. They don't get to move at all. That was an excellent block. All right, so I will take his away. Then yellow gets first place for 3 resources. I'm running out of resources, folks. I don't know what the designer was thinking with this. I may have to start giving them poker chips or something, because it doesn't matter what type of resource they have. They just need to know they have them. So I think that's a great idea. I'm going to have to go get some poker chips for them. And then they could just keep track of how many resources they have. Okay, next is yellow or purple, who's getting 2 resources. Again, they're just consuming all the resources. And then red does get 100 gold, which unfortunately is going to move them a lot, because that 100 gold turns into foundation points. I probably should have blocked him, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. He moves up 4 points, whereas white would have only moved up 2. So maybe I made the wrong choice. I should have went after 100 gold instead of 50 foundation. 100 gold would definitely be a lot for us too. But I'll stick with my decision. I think in retrospect, I made the poor one there. But that's okay. I wasn't thinking ahead. The 50 heirloom or foundation points for us is still a good thing. I mean, that moved me up 2 fame points on the foundation score. And that brings us to the end of white's turn. So now we're going to move to yellow. Oh, no, it's not. White also has to get a successor going. So we're going to draw their 2 cards. White's symbol is the light bulb, and here he is. So he's going to take the light bulb. He gets 25 foundation points. So white does move up 1 on the foundation track, and he's done. Okay, now we're going on to yellow. So I believe we're on the 4th one now. Yellow's going to make a relationship with the corporate mogul. And yellow does have a relationship token. Corporate mogul's here. They get 40 points. So they will move up 1 for 25. And that's it. Then we go to purple, who's going to do the, it looks like that's the industry one. So they're going to do the one that raises the industry up and down. And see the little up arrow here? He's going to move his industries up, is what that means. So, the influence industries here, because hold on. Yeah, this is purple's turn. Purple's going to get to raise both of his influence industries up by 1. So purple is this guy, and you can see he has camera and in the manufacturing. So the camera goes up by 1. And the manufacturing also goes up by 1. So it's becoming worth an awful lot. Okay, so that's that. And then we have to go now through the order, turn order, and everybody else gets to do their adjustment. So the red player gets to adjust one of their industries. But whether it goes up or down is determined by the card again. So I have to draw more cards. So we're just looking at the up arrow or down arrow. So here you can see that red drew a down arrow. So red is going to adjust one of their industries down. And it'll be one that they're not invested in. And they're not invested in either of them. So they would move down the one that's up the most, which is this one. Whoops, sorry. So military is back to the beginning. So then we just keep going, right? We're going to now do blue. And blue has an up arrow. And blue's industries are the camera and this. They have an up arrow, so they're going to increase the camera because that's the one they're invested in. Okay. And then it's us. We get to pick one. And we're invested heavily in science and books. We're going to raise the science by 1. And we only get to pick one, of course. The next is white. White is invested in, well, let's draw their card first. They got the down arrow. And white's 2 specialties are the art and the theater. And both of them, so they're going to reduce the art by 1. And then we get back to yellow, and yellow has investment in stuff that we're also invested in, but it's all going to depend on what card is drawn. I got to shuffle. If you're playing the Rising Stars never do global action. So the Nemesis does add more fiddly, right? More stuff you have to do, but they count as a real player. So that would be the trade-up. Okay, so they got a rising arrow, and so the yellow player is invested in both of their industries, so they're going to raise the one that is up the most, which is this one. So it's going to go up again. And then last but not least, purple has to get their successor figured out. So let's draw 2 cards. Purple is looking for the bank icon. Then neither of them are banks, so that's a 58, that's a 9. So they're taking the 58, which doesn't give them any bonus. Okay, purple's turn is done. And now we move to red. Red is going to do the fame one. So they're knocking these off. We got 3 of the 4 already gone. So again, I'm going to do the red's already gotten a new successor, so we're okay there. So the fame one is what they're going to do, and we just start with red first. So red does have one. It's the science and the books, which is going to be really good for them. So they have one of ours. So the science is going to give them 5 fame, and the books are going to give them 4 for a total of 9 fame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we'll just go around in this order here. He has nothing. I have something, and it's books and the man in the factory. So that's going to pay off for me. I only get to pick one, but I'm going to choose the factory, which is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm up to 80. Keep going. This guy, yellow, has military or education, and those took a big hit. The education is down to 1. Military is down to 1 as well. So yellow gets 1. And then blue has science or books. Science gets them 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then purple has nothing, so they don't score. All right, so that was the red player's turn. And now we have the blue player who is taking the gold one. So they're going to trigger one, and it's this one right here. So it's heirloom income. And in this case, we get to collect for both industries, but blue gets to count it as if they have one more. And I'm going to take care of blue's successor right now before we get going. Blue is looking for this symbol right here. And so he's taking Mr. Lee, which gives him a 25-point bump. So we will do that for blue. And blue is actually not up to the 25 section, but he is now. Okay, so we got to collect income for everybody. So blue has camera and Mona Lisa here. So the camera is here, Mona Lisa is there. 12 plus 6 is 18, and blue has 3 of them. So it gets to actually make it 4. So, oh gosh, 8 times 4 is 24. 1 times 4 is 4, so 64. Did I do that right? 18 times 4. Yeah, 64. So that's really good. All right, so blue will move up 2 bumps. And then we'll just keep going around. So purple has the factory and the camera. That's 30, 42. So purple will get 1 bump. And then we move to red, which is military and education. That's 8 and 6, 14. Red gets no bump at all. White has the Mona Lisa and theater. So, and there's 3 of them. So 6, 12 times 3 is 36. So red will get 1 bump. I'm sorry, this is white. White gets 1 bump. And then ourselves, we have the science and book. So we get 30 plus 20, we get 50. So for the first time, I get to grab these little gold bars. So we have 50. And then the yellow player has 2 of them, which is factory and book. That's going to pay off really lucratively for them. The factory gives them 30, the book 45. So 45 times 2 is 90. So the yellow player is going to get 3 bumps. 1, 2, 3. And that ends that. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the blue. This is the only one left. If somebody takes that, that ends the round. Let's look at it is now our turn, so we could be the one that does that. We can increase science and manufacturing industry values by 2 space. Science is ours. Manufacturing, of course, is the one that's already through the roof. Or we can weaken all relationships with the general and master thief by 1. That would knock us off in one case, but we're going to get knocked off anyways. And yeah, I don't care which one gets triggered here. This one helps us because the science one would get a bump by 2 spaces, which is really good. But somebody else might choose that. If we get lucky, it'll have the up arrow, right? I want to keep playing because the whole strategy was we got the extra action cards because we want to do extra actions. Now we could do this one, but there's a chance that the AI is going to end this. So we can do our own personal investment, or we could do the this one where we were going to steal an heirloom. Now, the problem with stealing an heirloom is the heirloom scoring just happened, so we missed it. But it would be nice to steal it just so we can get caught up for the next round. And also because if we're going to steal it, now's the time because somebody else might take it later, right? It does me no good at the moment, though. That's the only thing that stinks about this one. I definitely want to steal. I just, I'm thinking that maybe I can just wait until next round to do it. And there's a gamble there, but I think I'm going to do that because that, or I can take one of these blue ones. Collecting dividends is okay. This is the one I think I would take because I would invest $50 and then it would get doubled to 100. I would get a lot of foundation points. But the problem is they get to do it too. So they would bump up a lot of their own investment. So you know what? I'm just going to get my investment in. We're gonna wait and we'll steal the heirloom next round. We'll do the investment now. I wanted to get invested in that industry, which is just soaring through the roof. The industry is currently worth $30. And if I don't get invested in that, it's a big deal. I guess there's a lot of AI invested in it. So if they start selling that industry, then I'm going to get screwed because I might pay too much for it. Actually, maybe that's not a good idea. I could just spend 2 fame, actually, and I get to place it in any industry of my choice without paying any money. That's the better option, is paying the 2 fame. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to pay 2 fame, and I get to put a minor token, which is my last minor token. Where the heck? I guess I only have 3. So I can put it here and be in with the crowd, I guess. That's probably the right thing to do because getting a $60 investment for free was not bad, and now it's worth $80. I guess I still have to do an action to sell it someday, but for now, that'll work. And now we move on to the white player's turn. We're at the bottom, and you can see they're doing trade conference, which isn't going to happen. And now they want to do, what the heck is that one? This trade thing. So there's trade conference. Oh, yeah, okay. All they're saying is they want to go for trade. I see. So this one, and then we just go right. They're going to do that one. They don't take a, I think when they go right, it's, if they chose a blue one, they're only picking a blue one. They're not picking a red one. So this one is the one they're going to choose. Now the amount that they invest is here. And so that's going to screw them over. They're trying to invest 15, and so they don't even, and so that'll be doubled to 30, which means they're going to get one bump. And this is white. So white's going to get one bump from that. Now everybody else gets to invest, and I think I've been doing this wrong. I've been just assuming that they're going to invest, that all the AI is going to invest the same, but I think I'm supposed to be drawing cards, because right here on the bottom right, you see the 50. So the next AI, which is yellow, is going to invest 50, so they're going to get 2 bumps. Next AI is purple. They're only going to invest 15, they get nothing. Next AI is red. Red's going to get 2 bumps. And then blue is going to get 1 bump. So this is different than the way I was playing the last video, and I think this is the more accurate way to do it. Okay, the white player also has their 3rd successor, so we don't need to do that. Now, we still get to choose, and we're going to put in 50, because we can. Actually, you can see I only need to put in 35, because it's going to cost me 10 to get to the edge, and then 25 more. So here's my 25, and then one of my 10s to make it 35. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move up that 10, and then the 25 will put us there. Okay, so I do believe this is the more accurate way to play that, is you draw a card for every Nemesis, and then that determines how much they invest. They're not all going to just invest 50 bucks every time. That is making it harder for me than necessary. So my apologies there. Okay, yellow is up. Yellow also has a blue. They're trying to do that investment, which is already taken. So yellow will go along and then collect the dividends. And let me just make sure that they, you know, when they do the wraparound, go back to red, or what do they do? It doesn't say, it just says it loops back around to the first global action if it reaches the end of the row. So is the first global action the red one? And it is a global action. It's a red global action. Part of me is thinking, because the card said blue, you just loop around to the first blue global action. Like, I would only choose red if the AI card tells me to choose red. So that's going to be my thoughts. The rules don't say it. I mean, see right there, there's a red one. And so that would trigger the red one. And there's another one. You know, they're in there. In fact, there's 3 of them in the discard pile right now. So I'm going to assume that we're going to keep going. And because players can do this. They don't want the round to end. They want to collect more money or whatever. So we're going to do dividends, which is never my favorite one. But we got to do that. And this is for the yellow player. Gosh, we're only on the yellow player. Okay, so dividends. Starting with yellow, they have teaching, science, and books, and industry. So industry is 25, science and books are 10 for 45, and teaching is 5 for 50. So yellow gets a bump of 2. Okay, next we're going to just go to blue. Blue has the camera, and that's it. Camera is nothing. Or I'm sorry, camera is 10, still not enough. Next we go to purple. Purple has military and 2 of them in the in there. So that would be 50. And then this is nothing. So, but purple would still get a bump of 2. And I also forgot yellow gets double, so they would get another 2 bumps. I just want to make sure I'm paying the dividends correctly. Oh, yeah. So I'm doing some things wrong here. There's not a line here. This is a major investment, that's a minor. So technically speaking, they got a lot less. Oh gosh, I apologize. I'm gonna move yellow down 2. So I did that a little bit wrong. Major investment gets 25 for this whole section. Minor investment gets 10 for that whole section. So it's different based on major versus minor. So my apologies there. I definitely have done that one incorrectly. Okay, so we just did purple. No, we were doing purple. And yes, the reason that purple came up is because I didn't know what to do about the major versus the minor. So purple's going to get 25, and then this makes it 10 more for 35. And then the military gives them nothing, and then this gives them nothing because there's no dividends down here. So purple's going to get 1 bump. Then we go to red. Red has a minor investment here, which is 10. It's not enough. Then we go to blue, which doesn't have anything. Oh, we already did blue. Oh, sorry, I was doing player order here. Then we're going to do white, and white has 1 investment, which is way down here, the law one. So that's worth nothing. And then we do our own. So we got 2 majors and 2 minors for books and science, and then a minor for this. So the major for books and science is 10. So we have 2 of them for 20. And then we have 2 minors for 5 each. That makes it 30. And then this makes it 40. And for us, we actually do get money. So our math is a lot easier than their math. Oh gosh, I want to do another playthrough. I feel like I've made a couple mistakes now that I'm getting a little bit better at now that I've played it some more. So yellow does need a successor. So let's get that taken care of. Yellow is looking for the bank. They don't have it, so the highest number is this one. So yellow is going to bump up by 1. Okay, they're done. Now we go to purple. Purple is going to do a blue. All the blues are gone. So now I'm going to assume they're going to do a red one. So purple will end it because there's nothing left to do but resolve the current event. The arrow is up, which is the way I wanted it to be. So increase science and manufacturing by 2 spaces. So, and then the science, of course, is what's going to be triggered. And that card is now out of the game. All right, so this is also the purple player who already has a successor, so we don't need to draw for that. Okay, first things first. The industries go up by 2. This one, when you hit the top, it can't go up anymore. So it doesn't get any more bumps, and there's no bonuses given to anybody. It's as high as it can go. So that might be your cue to start selling some stuff. And then this one gets bumped by 2, which is nice for us. Okay. We're at the end. First thing we got to do is anybody who doesn't have a successor has to nominate one, and the only one that doesn't is me. So I have to take the one that's in my hand, and this is a useless one because it doesn't do anything for me, and it doesn't give me anything. So this guy is like that sun that really wasn't worth the carbon footprint that you had to spend to raise him. Okay, let's move on. We get these flipped over. We're moving to the next round, which is 4. The market flushes. All of our old cards get discarded. I'm going to put this down. The market will flush. We get 3 new in the market. Oops, upside down. 1, 2, 3. I draw 3 cards. I still have the 1 card in my hand. So now I have 4 actions. And then this card goes away and 2 new successors come out. And as far as the events go, this is the next event card that's coming. All relationships with general and socialite produce immediately, or each player must lose 1 player card. Ooh, okay. And then the next card coming is remove any relationship with the humanitarian. Humanitarian is no longer available for the rest of the game. Oh. Oh, that's a legendary humanitarian. Oh, he is in the game. Okay, so yeah, we would have to get rid of him. Each player must lose half their gold, rounded up. Oh, that's an awful one. I wonder what happens to the AI. I guess they lose half their gold, which is nothing. All right, I believe that is it. We're ready to start the next round. Oh, we got to do turn order. Yellow is now first, followed by red, and then white, then purple, and then blue, and then us. So that's a new turn order. Oh, I forgot one other thing. Who just triggered this? This was triggered by... Yellow collected the double dividends. Yellow was third. It was white. Gosh, I screwed this up. So basically, the people who didn't get to take an action get to get one of these bonuses up here. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out like who the last 3 were. I think these were the last 3. So, because I think only these 2 switched places. I could be wrong. I apologize. But I'm going to go ahead and roll with it. So this is, these 2 guys are going to get 25 each. So blue and purple are going to get 1 bump. And then we get to choose. We can take the foundation bump, we can take 50 gold, or we can take 2 resources. And I think, you know, because we don't get resources any other way, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 resources, and I'm going to take a cog and a gem. Okay, so that ends the video. And gosh darn it, I feel like I'm making some mistakes now, and that's making me kick myself. But I don't think the mistakes are major. They're just minor ones. And, you know, I was consistent so far in terms of score. But if anything, the biggest mistake I made, of course, was letting them all get maximum foundation points, which only makes the game harder. So here we go. We're at the end of the 3rd generation. We're going to start the 4th in the next video. The big thing is I'm going to go try to grab some poker chips, so I will at least keep track of how many resources everybody has without, or gosh, I could just use money, right? So I'm just going to use the money chips to keep track of how many resources they have. And so they'll have gold in their inventory, but it's not really gold. It's just number of resources. And the idea here is because I'm running out of tokens, I want to get my tokens back. So I will do that between videos. This one was a rough one, just from mistakes perspective. But overall, I think the strategy that we're playing is still going very well. And anyways, thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.